Right, so what do I want to say? What am I doing?
You're making a Yule log.
I'm making a Yule log. Hi, I'm Vanessa with Community Natural Foods, and today we're going to be making a gluten-free Yule log. Yule log is a great show-stopping dessert that you can make for Christmas, and it's pretty easy. So let's get started. So what we're going to start with is our sugar and then 5 eggs. So we're going to crack these eggs in here. Whisk it together. And with a Swiss roll, the leavener that you're using is the eggs. So any air that you incorporate into the eggs is what's going to use to lighten up the roll. So you want to make sure that you do that. So we're going to put it over the heat. And we're doing that so that we dilute the sugar so that there's not granulars of sugar in the egg mixture. You want to whisk constantly because you don't want to cook the eggs, so you want to be very careful. This will just take a minute or two. It doesn't take very long. All right, so that's good. We're going to pour the egg and sugar mixture into the mixer. And then you're going to turn it on high and let it go until it fluffs up. All right, so we've got this all whipped up. What we're going to do is we're going to put it on low for a little bit, and this is just going to stabilize the air that we've created so that it won't, the air pockets won't deflate so quickly. When you're making a Swiss roll, you want to have everything ready to go. Because we're just using our eggs as the leavener, we want to move quite quickly. So you want to have your flour and your cocoa pre-sifted. You want to have your palette knives, your sheet tray, parchment, everything ready to go, and your oven preheated to 400 degrees. So I like to do this one by hand so that if I can feel the clumps while I'm folding it in. You can use a spatula if you like, I just don't prefer. So we're dropping in our flour and cocoa mixture, and we're gonna fold it by hand. And you wanna work really quickly. As I said before, the air pockets from the eggs is the only thing as a leavener, so. Once it's all mixed, we're gonna put it onto the sheet tray, and you can see how much it's deflated through the folding process. So you wanna work really quickly even when you're at this stage. So you're gonna take your offset and you're gonna evenly distribute it. Try not to bang the sheet tray or anything like that because that's gonna deflate your egg whites, or your eggs as well, not your egg whites. All right, so this gets out to be about, I would say, between 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch thick. So there you go. Get it as flat as you possibly can. There. We've leveled this out. We're gonna pop it in the oven at 400 degrees, and you're gonna bake it between 7 and 9 minutes, and you wanna be really careful not to over bake it, because if you get it too crispy, you won't be able to roll it nicely. So we'll be back in a minute when this is all finished. All right, so our Swiss roll is done. We've taken it out of the pan. I have a chocolate buttercream here ready to go that we're gonna fill it up with. I like to use an Italian buttercream recipe, but you can use whatever you like. I've done it where I've filled it with chocolate mousse and decorated the outside with buttercream. So you really have a lot of options of what you'd like to do. We'll plop down some chocolate buttercream. We're gonna do an even layer. You don't wanna do it too thick because it'll start popping out of the edges. So you want to do a nice thin layer. Off this way. All right, so we're going to lift up, starting in the middle. Do your little Swiss roll. So we're going to roll it. Because of this sponge, it makes it easy to shape and form it and manipulate it. Because of all of the eggs. So we're just going to evenly roll that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna, gonna pop this like such. Holding on to the bottom. Just tighten it up a little bit. So we have it all rolled up. We're gonna pop it in the fridge and let that buttercream harden so that we can create the Yule log after this step. All right, so we've pulled our Yule log out of the fridge after it's sat for about a half hour. I'm gonna cut the end off here. Do you get to try the end? And for this one, I'm gonna cut it in half. You can make 2 Yule logs. You can make one really long one. It's kind of up to you, however you would want to do it. And then you're going to take at an angle, you're going to cut off the end piece there, like that. We're going to place it on our board. We'll get rid of this other one. Boop. All right, so we're gonna glue this piece on. So it's the outside of the log. And then we're gonna start decorating it. So you pop some buttercream on. And you want it to be a little bit rough so you're actually have the texture of what a log would look like. And when you're decorating this, you're gonna add on maybe some marzipan mushrooms, or you can make some meringue mushrooms just as some little accents that happen. All right, so that's it decorated. And then what I like to do is I like to take my palette knife and create kind of notches in it so that it has the same kind of look as a log. So it's nice and textured. Sprinkling it over with some icing sugar to make it look like snow. Super cute. And then I'm gonna decorate it, the plate, with just some Christmas accents. You can make these out of kind of whatever you want. We're gonna be just using some decorations. Man down, man down. So you can see you have just a really cute little Yule log that you can serve at Christmas time, which would be really wonderful. And people are gonna love it. Thank you for joining us today. Please hit that like button and subscribe.